A story for your pleasure? Howl of Vengeance.
In the realm of Durgan, a terrible siege shook the throne. An invader seized the land for his own. As the king of Durgan slipped into death's fold, he faced the man who would take his crown. Hrothgar the Raider, scourge of North lands, he stripped the bounty of Durgan to appease his suffering clans. But the king was no willing victim. With his final breath, he uttered this vengeful curse. For so long as you rule, a curse upon you. The dead will arise to ensure your demise.
Choose your mage. Hrothgar the Raider. For months, Hrothgar ignored the king's curse, until the words of a criminal unsettled his court. Grubkern the grave robber was the source of this trouble. His tales infected the castle with dread. Tales of the marching dead, a howling army that gathered to wreak vengeance upon the invaders. Hrothgar vowed to investigate these matters. If they were lies, then Grubkern would die. But if they were truth... Choose your mage. Aelric the Avenger.
The Princess of Durgan escaped the invaders and sought a way to fulfill the king's curse. Her quest led to an ancient keep within a forgotten city. There she met Aelric, heir to a legacy of great mages. He would not serve for glory or wages, yet Aelric vowed to protect the princess and wreak vengeance upon her pursuers.
A story for your pleasure?
Matchmaker Mayhem. The king of Edenvale wished for a son, but alas, he had only a daughter. His child would someday inherit the throne, so the king called for suitors when she was of age. Roxana was willful as any man in the palace, and rejected all notion of arranged marriage. The king's pleading wore heavy on the stubborn princess, so she came to proclaim this challenge. I will not be wed in service to the crown, nor traded like some prized cattle. Any man that shall marry me must first defeat me in battle.
Choose your mage.
Brian the Bold. Many suitors called in pursuit of Roxana, yet the princess was no easy catch. Her skill was superior in every contest, so it seemed she would find no match. And then there appeared Brian. His challenge was earnest and grave. His army camped at the edge of Hern's Wood. They would invade the very next day.
Choose your mage.
Roxana of Edenvale. Many suitors did call to take up the challenge, yet none could defeat Roxana. She sent them off sulking with their pride stripped away, dashing their plans for a wedding day. And then there appeared Brian the Bold. His purpose was firm, his offer was cold. If Roxana refused to take him as husband, then his army would march upon Edenvale.
A story for your pleasure? Tartaron Unbound.
In the beginning of all things, the realms were a frenzy of creation, and from this turmoil there arose primitive nations. When the Lords of Order ascended to govern east of the Great Sea, one among them was cast down for his chaotic schemes. It was in exile that he took the name Tartaron. Tartaron loathed his underground kingdom.
He spent his rage upon those that stumbled into his prison, and he waited. For one day he would escape and unleash chaos upon the world.
Choose your mage. The Circle of Order.
Tartaron constantly tested his prison. His strength was fueled with increasing rage until the wards could no longer hold him and he broke free from his unwelcome cage. The Circle of Order quickly gathered to confront this disaster.
The Lady of Tides.
The Lord of Lands.
The Lord of Flame.
The trail of Tartaron led away to the seas, home to the Lady of Tides. There was no greater danger, for if Tartaron captured her realm, his influence would spread to all of the world.
Choose your mage. Tartaron, Lord of Chaos.
Without the challenge of chaos or the trials that it brought, the realms embraced idle comfort that gradually weakened their lot. So Tartaron watched the realm of fire and his warden, the Lord of Flame. He waited patiently for the day when he could breach this gateway and free the world from its frail shame.
A story for your pleasure?
Nuts and bolts. When the ancient clans made war, many champions were cast down in battle. Their weapons were hidden in deep burrows, where few men dared to travel. Yet Gyarados and Wormskull felt no fear of these places, nor of curses of terrible woe. These brothers uncovered the Pearl of Power, which, according to legend, could bring life to arcane inventions. Wormskull was cheated from the glory of this prize, for Gyarados seized it at once. The pearl was taken away, for safekeeping, he'd say, and was delivered to the king.
Choose your mage.
Gyarados, the occasionally good. Gyarados presented the Pearl of Power to his king, yet he received no reward for this deed. For the pearl held a curse to whomever did bear it, a curse of war and calamity born from greed. It was the army of Wormskull that set torch to the city, drawn by the promise and power of the pearl.
Choose your mage.
Wormskull, the artificer. The king did grant audience to hear tell of the tale of how Gyarados sought out the pearl. But this account was cut short, for when proof was requested, there was nothing to be presented. It was Wormskull's intention to use the pearl for inventions which he constructed at home in his lair, and it was there that Gyarados eventually found him.
A story for your pleasure?
Harvest of Horrors. In a land just below the Forbidden Plateau lived a people who practiced false smiles. Their daily charade masked a fear in their hearts of a kingdom beyond measurable miles. For that dark realm did appear at only one time a year, when the harvest was brought into store. And from that unthinkable place, foul creatures poured forth in search of food for their horrible race. Then one year, just by chance, this dire circumstance touched the heart of a reclusive mage. Though he retired from society many ages before, he could not ignore this outrage. And so he set out to cease this dread practice.
Choose your mage.
Hrothgar the Hermit. That year, when the crops ripened in field and the blood harvest began once anew, no person was lost to the phantom marauders. For Hrothgar halted this slaughter. His assistance did not pass unnoticed, however. Soon a dark army descended from the Forbidden Plateau to seize the victims Red Fang would not forego.
Choose your mage.
Red Fang the Reaper. Atop the Forbidden Plateau, in the kingdom of Nyx, ruled the insidious Red Fang the Reaper. His subjects flourished and grew upon a horrible stew made from all manner of creature. But alas, it was told that this feast did grow old. Something new was required to satisfy their desire. As if by fate, there came word of approaching invaders that sought Red Fang's harvesting horde. And after capturing a few of the enemy host, it was clear they would serve as fine slaves or plump roasts.
Before the time of troubles, to the east of the Great Sea, there were rumored to be kingdoms that thrived on arcane sorceries. This realm was governed by the law of might, and the Bloodforge ruled the day. Vast armies were born from these artifacts to serve the plans of many a mage. The tide of kingdoms rose and fell, such that it seemed no one could quell the incessant power struggles. In high circles and low, many did ask, who could take up the impossible task of bringing peace to the war-ravaged realm? Such a leader could champion causes of virtue, or serve some selfish or questionable end. All that mattered was that the land was united by the one and true legend.